own Johnson Animal Clinic, which was started by Bode Johnson in 1972, and started working here when I was in high school in 1983. I purchased the practice in 2000, so I've owned it since 2000. So here we are. So anyway, it was two-man. Originally it's a two-man practice. He started by himself, built up two-man, and when I took over, it was just me and Dr. Johnson, and then we just needed more space. Came here, and then COVID hit. There was about 3 or 4 clinics that closed in the vicinity that were older clinics, well established, that closed for a variety of reasons. And with COVID, things just exploded. Just really got a lot busier.
The planning started before COVID. We moved in July of 2020. So it hit when we were in the old building and kind of didn't know what was going to happen. So it was a little chaotic, and I think the benefit of being in this building with curbside is there were places for people to go and park, and we could access them a little bit better versus the old one. There were dogs in parking lots everywhere, and it was a lot of stress.
Because already was, it's already going to be a bigger, just making a change, going to a bigger building, and you throw COVID on it. That was a wild card. Man, that was pretty big.
So we came from a very small building that kind of was just growing out of itself. But our goal, and Dr. Bode and I have always felt that way, where we want it to be a small town feel of a clinic and still very much a family practice.
And either I was going to stay where I was and not get any bigger, and sell out, maybe retire, or that type of situation, or cut back, or do you invest, pretty much, my life savings pretty much, and invest in a new building, a new facility, and keep growing and keep changing with the times. And that's kind of had to make that decision. So, and lucky enough to where the property came down in price, where it made it more affordable, more doable. Had a lot of help with Blake and Patterson with getting a design, and working with the architect and the builder, which has been great.
It's a little bit of a scare to go into debt after being out of debt for quite a bit of time. But I think when he put the numbers together and started going through the process and working with our design guys on the workflow, I think he kind of got excited about it and just ran with it. From a clinic valuation standpoint, there were a lot of dings that he was catching at his other practice. You're landlocked, you don't have enough parking, there's really no way for you to expand. All those things are gone now. Everything that people, dinged him on are now working in his favor as opposed to working against him.
So it's a 6,000 square foot building with 5 exam rooms. The lobby at one time, before COVID, probably could have held 10 people. I believe maybe more than that, 12. We're still doing social distancing on that.
And the hallways are big, so we don't have people running over each other quite as much. And we have a safe space for treatment for cats and treatment for dogs, and kind of have a little space to work with. We
have a large treatment area where a lot of things can be done with drawing blood, a dental table. A lot of our treatment drugs can be done in a central area, which kind of makes it nice. Surgical suite, the break room for the employees, office for the doctors, call center for taking phone calls, office manager's room too. So it kind of makes it all in one central location. It's kind of neat. I think that's kind of a neat concept.
What I really wanted to avoid was having clutter, and I think the cabinet space has been really nice because we've been able to put things, and you can see them because we have the glass cabinets, which I have loved, and you can find things easily, and we don't hide things as much.
Getting back against COVID, we've been checking people out in the exam rooms, and that's something I wouldn't plan on doing when the building was designed. The big thing is like the comfort room for the euthanasias. It was always bad because the old building we didn't have, and back when it was built to be, there wasn't rooms like that for the most part in the 70s when that building construction was done. And so it's nice having that in an area where we can have people come in different side of the building, don't have to go through the waiting room at all, and take their pet in, and for that time when it's time.
I think the compassion room is one of my favorites, but probably honestly treatment, just because when we had fluids, blood work, IV catheters, you either did it in a room and asked an owner to go out into the crazy lobby, or went into the surgery room and did it there. So I think there's a big difference. We have 3 exam tables, and I can do a lot more without having to do it in the room or in the back. Those 2 things are probably my favorite. So I think one thing that we're really excited to use is digital dental radiography. We've just really needed it. We've had a lot of questions intraoperatively, and now we can answer those questions and give people better information. And then just our DR, our radiography is so much faster and so much clearer now. So it's been nice. And honestly, what's weird, but lights. We had really bad lighting in an old building. So now in the treatment area, we have very good lighting, and in the surgery suite. And it's just very different.
Oh, the morale's so much better. They were really and no fault to them. They were in each other's business because they had to be. They were so close to each other, didn't have places to go. The running joke, if you went in there and asked for Dr. Bode and they said he was in his office, that meant he was outside on a cordless phone walking around so he could have a private conversation because he had no office. And they all just learned to live with it. You know, they didn't really see the other side. They worked at the clinic for years and years. And until they're here and you can see the personalities and the laughter and the times that they have with each other now, they might not see it, but I see it every day when I'm in here. I just cannot believe the difference in the morale and the positive attitude that they have now.
You know, it's gonna be nice. I said it's gonna be nice. You know, if I retire 10 years from now, whatever, and then, you know, I'm 70 years old and come out here, and 15 years from now, and there's this building here, and I was like, you know, hey, I was part of that. You know, so I think that's something worthwhile. You know, that's kind of a neat feeling. You know, so when Dr. Johnson's kids, you know, say, hey, we're really proud of what you've done and maintaining his legacy, that means a lot to me.